bit, Akshita.
You know, it's a mandate for change very clearly. And Geeta, I request you to stay on with me because we're also going to talk about what this means for India. But just to sum up what we've seen in the last few hours, why do we refer to this as a historic election? It's a vote for change, but a vote also that's translated to a vote for the Labour Party and their reforms, all that they've promised. The new Prime Minister is the man you see on your screens there with his wife, Sir Keir Starmer. He's been appointed by King Charles to lead the country for the next 5 years after a sweeping 400-plus mandate for him. He visited Buckingham Palace, and those are the numbers on your screens there. Almost completely done. Out of the 650 seats, 648 are out, 412 going for the Labour Party. And that itself tells you what the election story has been in the UK. There's been a lot of talk about many parts of the Europe going the way of the right. In the UK, it's gone the way of the left.
The 4th of July night, as the counting began, stretching to 5th July morning, it turned out to be an astonishing result. Beyond the stupendous scale of Labour's overall victory, it was a night of shock results, big swings and unexpected upsets. The incumbent UK Prime Minister won from the Richmond constituency but lost his job at 10 Downing Street.
To the country, I would like to say first and foremost, I am sorry. I have given this job my all.
Sir Keir Starmer moves on from being the leader of opposition to the top job in the House of Commons with a stunning victory of scoring 400-plus seats.
We've changed the Labour Party, returned it to service, and that is how we will govern. Country first, party second.
The man whom Starmer replaced in 2020 as the leader of Labour Party, Jeremy Corbyn, won convincingly fighting as an independent as his former party barred him. Shadow Chancellor Rachel Reeves has won the Leeds West and Pudsey constituency.
We have campaigned as we mean to go on, as a government of unity, not of division, a government of wealth creation and a government in the national interest. Country first, party second. That is our promise to Britain. That is my promise to the people of Leeds West and Pudsey. We will not let you down. I will not let you down. And I can't wait to get started.
The leader of the Liberal Democrats, Ed Davey, after an action-packed campaign where he fell into a lake, careered down a water slide and did a bungee jump in antics, retained his outer London constituency of Kingston and Surbiton. His party has achieved its best ever result at 70-plus seats.
Tonight, the Liberal Democrats are on for our best result for over a century. And I'm really proud that our party has fought so positively during this campaign, particularly putting the reforming and fixing the crisis in our health and care system right at the forefront. And the many Liberal Democrat MPs who are being elected tonight are going to continue to fight to sort out health and care so the people of our great country can get the health and care they deserve.
Green Party co-leader Adrian Ramsay forced into Conservative bastion in Suffolk, Norfolk rural area. In fact, the Greens had a spectacularly good night by the standards of a minor party. It has for long struggled to break through the electoral system in previous elections. It has quadrupled its number of Commons seats to 4. Conservatives had the worst night. Not only were their numbers reduced, big shots like the former Prime Minister Liz Truss, Defence Minister Grant Shapps have lost. Scottish National Party has been reduced to single digit from its previous tally of 46 in 2019.
Yeah, I feel better today than I did yesterday, I think. I feel pretty tired. I was up all night watching it. So, yeah, excited for something new to happen, I think. I think the country needs it. It's not the same, you know, I was a child in '97. I don't think it's quite that kind of spirit. But I'm hopeful that the new government will come in with some plans. I think if they move quickly, then we can kind of we might be able to find some hope, even though it doesn't feel like they've managed to find it in the campaign so much.
I think the future will be better. I think the future will be more better now. So since the Labour Party is in power now, I think the country will be more better in terms of job, in terms of safety. So there will be more protection in the country and more job for the country.
People need the change. Now we have a change, but
what that change will bring is waiting to see, because there's no money. Without the money, no growth. Without the growth, you cannot make public services work properly.
British newspapers have hailed the Labour landslide, but Sir Keir Starmer, as the new Prime Minister, has a tough task to deliver to satisfy the anti-establishment vote that has catapulted his party to power.
All right, let's get to the question I know all of you are asking. What does really a Keir Starmer government mean for India, mean for the Indian community, the Indian diaspora in the United Kingdom? Let's just draw that comparison up for you. Rishi Sunak versus a Keir Starmer on ties with India. Of course, we've all seen those images of Rishi Sunak, someone who's so deeply rooted in Indian culture and tradition, go beyond just bilateral ties and focus on cultural relations as well. But Keir Starmer also, unlike his presidency in the Labour Party, has made it clear that they are focused very much on enhancing ties with India. A new strategic partnership is what he's spoken about, while also interacting with the Indian diaspora. What's also going to be extremely important to watch out for is the free trade agreement, which could be signed between India and UK as a result of freeing up some of the hassles that we've seen really between India and UK on issues like student visas. Now, on immigration. Now, there was legal cap to curb immigration that was brought in by the Sunak government. Keir Starmer also expected to continue that, says they will crack down on illegal immigration. But remember that this is a left-leaning party, so could be a little more liberal than the Sunak government. Also, very importantly, what was controversial with regards to the Sunak government was the Rwanda project, which transported illegal immigrants out of the UK to Rwanda. This is something that will be shelved immediately by, in fact, Starmer's government. Besides that, there's also the very important issue of whether this means good news for, in fact, Indians who are looking to immigrate to the UK. Yes, because Starmer, in all likelihood, will focus on skill-based immigration, which is good news for India. And remember, on the other hand, Rishi Sunak was largely willing to give in to pressure and go ahead and actually crack down on student visas. What about work permits? Another thing that affects the Indian diaspora. A legal cap on work and family visas was something that was in place. As far as Keir Starmer concerned, a ban on employers who are illegally hiring workers from abroad is something that he's promised. Illegally is the key word here. But besides that, will it affect the Indian diaspora that's currently working in the UK? Unlikely, because Starmer has worked hard on ensuring that he sends out that message that he's not against immigration. And those are pictures on your screens right now of Sir Keir Starmer meeting with King Charles. It was at this moment that he was officially appointed as the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. And this is, of course, because of the fact that you had that huge mandate that came in for him, for the Labour Party. So what exactly does this landslide victory mean for India? I broke it down for you in a few points. Let's break it down and decode it further for you in our next report.
We did it! You campaigned for it, you fought for it, you voted for it, and now it has arrived. Change begins now.
One of the areas where change is expected is immigration. The outgoing government, led by Rishi Sunak, shocked UK by transporting illegal immigrants out of Rwanda, even as boatloads of immigrants kept crossing the English Channel into England. The new government is expected to reset the policy and a huge boost for aspirants from India focus on skill-based immigration. This is what Keir Starmer had said about immigration last year at the Indian Global Forum.
Well, we need to get the skills balance right, and at the moment, I just don't think we've got a skills strategy to speak of. So we need the skills strategy. We need to therefore look at what skills we do have, what skills we do need, and at the moment, there's just a complete mismatch out there, I think.
The new Labour government in the UK, which returns after sitting in opposition benches for 14 years, is also expected to fast forward the free trade agreement with India. The FTA has been on the negotiating table for 30 months and despite 14 rounds of negotiations, is no closer to being signed. The new party in its manifesto has said that it would seek a new strategic partnership with India, including a free trade agreement as well as deepening cooperation in areas like security, education, technology and climate change.
A relationship based on our shared values of democracy and aspiration that will seek a free trade agreement. We share that ambition, but also a new strategic partnership for global security, climate security, economic security. This is the essential truth of the world we live in.
Experts, however, believe that there could be some minor changes to the FTA based on the new government's priorities. However, UK remains keen on a trade deal with India, especially after Brexit. Bureau Report, Business Today Television.
All right, let's take this back across to Geeta Mohan joining us live from London. Geeta, London, the United Kingdom, basking in all of the celebration right now of this big change in guard. But what really does it mean for India is something everyone's talking about. You've actively been speaking to and engaging with the Indian diaspora there. What do they make of this mandate? What do they make of this election result?
Well, the Indian diaspora over here, quite frankly, Akshita, quite a few of them were actually rooting for Rishi Sunak, maybe because of the emotional connect, more to do with that than to do with the fact that it's the Conservatives. But they knew that there's a Labour wave. They knew that they have to engage the Labour government as well. And many of them are part of the Labour government and the Labour Party, not the government yet, but the Labour Party. So for the Indian community, it is going to be a continuum in terms of how they are engaged by governments over here. And it is because for these governments, Indian community is quite important and significant. It's no longer a labor class, working class only kind of a group. The Indian community represents some of the most wealthy, affluent and influential people here in British politics and British society. You will be seeing representation of the Indian community even in government. So, and Keir Stamer himself, during his campaigning, visited temples, went and met the Indian community. He attached as much importance to the Indian community and the Indian diaspora as Rishi Sunak did. So it is a very significant and an important diaspora here, and the Indian origin Brits over here. So we will have to see how the government is going to look at including them, becoming more inclusive in bringing them in. But that's something that's always been on Keir Starmer's agenda. Look at the manifesto, Akshita. The manifesto clearly has paragraphs on how India has to be engaged and how important the Indian community here in the United Kingdom really is.
Very, very true. So I think there has been a lot of focus on the Indian diaspora, knowing full well the importance. But yes, you're right to also highlight that there was this emotional connect that the Indian diaspora had with Rishi Sunak, almost like he was one of us. He, of course, showed off his cultural and traditional roots so very often, even in the run-up to this election, that you kind of understand that sentiment. But it's the end of Rishi Raj in the United Kingdom. So what next for Sunak and Akshita Murthy? They moved out of 10 Downing Street. Those are the images of them as they exited, all smiles, holding hands. Now they move back to their mansion in Richmond, because remember, Sunak is still a member of Parliament. He's retained his Richmond seat.
A historic mandate for Keir Starmer, translating to the end of Rishi Raj in UK. Rishi Sunak has conceded defeat, and so far the only silver lining for Sunak has been that he's held on to his seat, Richmond in North England.
I have heard your anger, your disappointment, and I take responsibility for this loss. To all the Conservative candidates and campaigners who worked tirelessly but without success, I am sorry that we could not deliver what your efforts deserved. It pains me to think how many good colleagues who contributed so much to their communities and our country will now no longer sit in the House of Commons. I thank them for their hard work and their service.
Sunak and Akshita soon after speech moved out of 10 Downing Street as crowds waved to them, signalling the end of Sunak's reign as PM.
I will never forgive them for that.
Okay.
You know,
So bye-bye Tories for you.
So yeah, it's a great gig.
So what next for Sunak? The outgoing British Prime Minister will remain a parliamentarian and is expected to move back to his Richmond mansion with his wife Akshita Murthy and their 2 daughters. Rishi Sunak calls his beautiful mansion home the Kirby Singston Manor, which he bought in 2015 for a whopping £1.5 million or about 14 crore rupees. This ancient mansion that stood tall since the 1800s has been refurbished with a pool, gym and a tennis court. The property even has a lake and a boathouse. He may be out as a UK Prime Minister, but he's still going to be super busy now with corporate commitments which were on pause while he served the country. A banker, a public speaker, an editor for newspaper. Sunak has donned many hats and so he has a platter of offers to choose from today. Rishi Sunak, known famously to be richer than King Charles, is looking at a chance of address now. Back from the London to Richmond. But seeing what awaits him at home, he perhaps has a whole lot to look forward to despite losing the election. Bureau Report, India Today.
And we're shifting focus to breaking news coming in from Punjab. We advise viewer discretion for the videos that we're about to show you of a shocking daylight attack that's taken place in the state. A Shiv Sena leader being attacked with swords in Ludhiana. Now it's led to also political fight. But what you see on your screens there, 2 men, seemingly Nihang Sikhs, attacking a man on a bike. He is in fact a Shiv Sena leader. The motive of this attack yet to be ascertained, but the Punjab Shiv Sena leader Sandeep Thapar is also a descendant of a freedom fighter and martyr Sukhdev, and he was assaulted by a group of Nihang Sikhs outside a hospital in Ludhiana. The Akali Dal has now lashed out at the AAP government, saying this is another indication of the serious collapse of law and order in Punjab. This happened in broad daylight. We hear that the victim has survived the attack but has been stabbed multiple times, has multiple stab injuries, including injuries on his head. The accused managed to flee from the spot, so the investigation right now is underway, but looks like the accused haven't been nabbed just yet. The accused reportedly managed to flee on their 2-wheelers, and there was absolutely no attempt made. You see a police officer there, but he didn't manage to catch the accused. Asim Basi is joining us live from Chandigarh with more details on this truly horrifying incident, and shocking, Asim, that this happened in broad daylight in Ludhiana. Any word really from the police on the accused? Because the latest we heard is that they have no idea who the accused even are.
Yeah, very shocking broad daylight incident that took place outside the civil hospital in busy city of Ludhiana. How a man was being injured badly by sharp-edged weapons. Yes, thankfully the man is stable. He's out of danger till now. But we have spoken to the Joint Police Commissioner Jaswant Singh Teja, who told that yes, they have identified 3 accused, but he did not tell the names of the accused. He did not tell the reasons why this attack took place. But yes, he said that identification of the accused has been done, who they were, from where they were. 2 persons are from Ludhiana, 1 person is from outside Ludhiana. But till now, the police is empty-handed. That is the only development, that they know who they are, but they have not made a single arrest in this case till now. So a lot of politics has also started, and the opposition is taking guns at the government for poor law and order situation. Moreover, local Shiv Sena leaders and Hindu outfit organizations have announced a Bandh call for Ludhiana tomorrow, while criticizing this entire incident that took place today in Ludhiana. Okay, so there's a Bandh call tomorrow, also called by political outfits. We understand that the victim has managed to survive this particular incident. Any word has seemed so far on the motive? Because the victim here is also a political leader belonging to the Punjab Shiv Sena. Yeah, Shiv Sena Hindustan, he's a member of the Shiv Sena Hindustan, and it is also said that Sandeep Thapar, who's the victim, also said that his family comes from the lineage of Shaheed Sukhdev Singh. And but no word basically that who these people were. But important is that despite the fact the victim had the security, had a gunman along, still this attack took place, and the police said that we will be examining the role of the gunman as well.
That's a very, very important point. So the role of the gunman being looked into, you see that on your screens there. There is a sole security officer with the victim, but just watches on, makes no attempt to actually stop the attack from taking place, let alone catching the accused, which is what's leading to questions about whether this was a targeted attack with the security officer of the victim also in cahoots with the accused. The investigation is underway. So far, no arrests, but absolutely shocking that something like this has happened in broad daylight in Punjab's Ludhiana. We will, of course, track all the latest that comes in on that story, particularly the investigation, to see if the accused are nabbed or not. That's all we have time for in this edition of 6 p.m. Prime. Thanks very much for tuning in. Coming up on the other side are excerpts of Prime Minister Modi's interaction with our world champs. The full 30-minute interaction coming your way. Thanks for tuning in.
To say hello, I'm so fly. You took a nosedive. Careful when you play on my level. For you it's so. Hey, hello.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra. Flip the script.
Hello, Moto.
The gold standard of college rankings since more than 2.5 decades. The India Today Best College Survey is back with its 2024 edition. Top colleges with best placement record. Colleges with lowest fees in India. Colleges with best value for money. Top emerging colleges in India. Colleges that have made the biggest leap since last year. Discover them all in India's most trusted college ranking. India Today Best Colleges Survey 2024 on stands now. Visit www.bestcolleges.indiatoday.in.
गांधी जी जब से नेता प्रतिपक्ष बने हैं तब से वो निरंतर भय और भ्रम की राजनीति कर रहे हैं। मात्र कल ही हम लोगों ने देखा कि उन्होंने अग्निवीर के मुद्दे के ऊपर किस प्रकार से झूठ बोला था, वो बात साफ हुई। आज हाथरस की इस हृदय विदारक घटना पे, इस हादसे पर, इस दुर्घटना पर जो राजनीति उन्होंने करने का प्रयास कर रहे हैं वो दुखद राजनीति है। देखिए, दुर्घटनाओं को संवेदनशीलता से देखना चाहिए, उनके प्रति एक गंभीरता से देखना चाहिए। इसलिए मैं कहता हूं दुर्घटनाओं पे आपको समान भाव से रखते हुए संवेदनशीलता से राजनीति करनी चाहिए। ये जिस ढंग की मैं कहूंगा राजनैतिक लाभ की गिद्ध दृष्टि से नहीं देखना चाहिए।
हमारे लिए खुशी की बात है कि आपने देश को उत्साह से भी और उत्सव से भर दिया और देशवासियों के सारी आशा अपेक्षाओं को आपने जीत लिया है। मेरी तरफ से बहुत बहुत बधाई आपको। आमतौर पर मैं देर रात दफ्तर में काम करता रहता हूँ, तो लेकिन इस बार मैं टीवी भी चल रहा है और फाइल भी चल रही थी। ध्यान केंद्रित नहीं